Well, hello, it's Peter here from SailPro. In this video, I'd like to talk about one of our features. I get a lot of questions about how to use SailPro, what's the best way to use it, depending on the type of racing that you're doing. You know, it really depends. Obviously, if you're sailing like a 470, it's a different type of a race because it's around the sticks to if you're sort of competing in twilights or Saturday afternoon races, which are typically around the cans and they can often be around set marks. Or your long distance sailing, you're more competing over a longer distance, maybe offshore. The way you can use SailPro is different for each types of the sailing that you do. Even if you're cruising, you can also get something out of SailPro. But in this video, I'd like to talk about one of our features, which is RaceCourse here. Okay, now RaceCourse is a course navigator, as it says here, and the idea of it is for you to be able to import marks or that you need to, either leave to port or starboard or head to sail around during your race, or even if you're cruising, like if you're cruising over a long distance and you want to put a marker in, and then what it will do is it will audibly tell you whether you're on the ley line or on the run line or not, or how low or how high you are of it, and then it will show you here. Obviously, it's saying NA at the moment because it's not running. So it's like a visual and audible way, and that's the big thing with SailPro is that when we develop SailPro, we try to make it so that it's not only visual, but it's also audible. And the idea of that is that you could be, you could have your phone, it depends on the size of the boat. If you're on a big boat, you can just have your phone, set it, turn the display off, put it in your pocket, and then hear maybe just from the device itself, or even using our bone conductive headsets, which leave your ear free to hear everything else around. Or you might have your phone in one of our waterproof pouches, but basically your phone's out of the way and you're hearing what's happening. So SailPro is telling you you're 5 degrees low or you're 10 degrees high. So it's giving you visual and more importantly, audio feedback, because you don't have to look at anything. You just listen. It's the same with our audible countdown timer, our time to distance calculator. Audibly, they're telling you you're 10 seconds late, or you're 20 seconds early for the start line, or you've got 1 minute 50 seconds to go, and you're doing this speed and you're steering this direction. Right? That's the whole idea of it. And once you sort of get used to it, it really does enable you to focus more on what's really going on around you. And be less reliant on other devices, other people. You can be steering your boat, or if you're a tactician, you're hearing it all in your head, right? Getting immediate feedback. So that's sort of what SailPro is all about. But specifically on RaceCourse, what you're doing here is you're actually just inputting marks, okay? So what you're going to do is you can come in here. You can see I'm obviously in my house. I'll just scroll over to a bit of water, which is where I sail. And you can see I've already put some marks here, so I'm just going to stop this course. And then you can manually put marks in here, all right? So you can put a mark there, click it again, add a label to it, put notes if you want to it, and then you might put another one. Okay, the next mark is there. Put a label to it if you want, all right? And then you've got, say that's your course, we'll just put one more. So say it's just right there. And 3, okay, add that there, all right. And so now once you've got your course set, all you need to do is click the start button, and you'll see now the course has been mapped here. Now if we scroll out, okay, you'll see, because I'm at home, this is our boat, and the red line is our heading. And it's telling us that we are 16 degrees high, okay? And if we just wait a few seconds.
16 degrees low.
Hopefully you heard that. It's basically telling you that you're 16 degrees low, all right? So basically I've got the audible call out set for every 30 seconds, all right? So if I go into the settings here, I can see my audio call out is variation. That means variation to the next mark. Or you could have speed, or you could have none.
147 degrees high.
And then the call out interval is the how often it calls that out. So in this case, every 30 seconds. Excuse me. Underneath that, I've got my upline wind angle upwind leyline angle, and then my downwind leyline angle. Okay, and I've set those at 90 and 35. So if I come back in here, I can click this and turn my ley lines on. So now you can see I've got a black line, which represents the downwind ley line that I've set, and the upwind ley line. And you can see the distance of those lines are relevant to how far you need to travel to that next mark. All right. So, and in fact, when you reach that, say, downwind ley line, when it reaches the next mark, it will call out downwind ley line reached. Or if it reaches the green ley line, it will call out upwind ley line reached. All right. So it's giving you an audible cue that you've reached the ley line. All right. One of the big things in sailing is don't sail over the ley lines as best as what you can, because you're sailing too far, more than what you need to. Underneath that, we've got our table here. We've got our distance to the mark. We've got the time to the mark, how long it will take us to get there, what the time will be when we arrive there, the number of the next mark, which is 1, our current boat speed and our current course over ground, and the elapsed time. Something to note is elapsed time is going to be replaced very soon with what we call VMC, or its velocity made good to the course. So what this will do is tell you which is the best tack to be on. If the tack you're on now is
146 degrees high,
faster than the other tack, and so on. So it's going to give you and audibly tell you whether excuse me, on the right tack at the moment. Underneath that, on our menu, we've got our pause button, our stop button. We've got our edit button, which I'll jump into in a sec. Our marks, which you've added, the ability to download the course. But let's say SailPro, RaceCourse will, when it gets to the mark within 20 meters, it'll recognize that it's reached the mark, and then it will jump to the next mark. Now, if it doesn't do that, you can simply click this button here, and then it will jump to the next mark. Okay, so it'll jump to now. Okay, now I'm going on to mark number 2. All right, and then our settings is here as well. Okay, so which I showed before. So that's basically how RaceCourse works. Yeah, if you need help, there's an instruction guide right there. But one of the things I want to go over now is another way of you setting marks. Doing it, instead of doing it manually like this, uploading a CSV file to import marks. So if you've got, say, let me just jump into that. So you can see here, I've already got those marks in here. I'm just going to delete those out of here. Actually, we'll go back and we'll stop that course. I can stop the course, and also I can download the track. It'll save our track, and I can export that to a GXP file if I want to. Another thing to keep in mind, that very soon you won't need to do that, because that type of analytics will be on board RaceCourse, so you can actually do all of your analytics with inside SailPro. So we'll just say no to that. All right, so let's say, for example, I'm going to, hopefully you can see on my screen, I'm going to walk you through how you might upload your course data into RaceCourse so that you're ready to go. You've got all of the courses saved inside RaceCourse, so whatever the race committee flag pulls up, what flag number, you know, you've got it, you can upload it, and bang, you can start going. You know which way to round the marks, you know which direction to head, what's the mark sequence, and so forth. Right, make it really easy. So let's just have a look at that now. All right, so you can see here I've got a PDF, and now I'm going to include ChatGPT and just show you how easy this can be. You can see I've got the PDF of the races from my local club and all the different courses here. In addition, They've also given all the channel markers, the latitude and longitudes here as well. You can see all the different channel markers that my yacht club uses. All right, so what I did is I jumped into ChatGPT and I took a screenshot of this. I'm not going to do it now. I'm just going to show you how you can do it. And I uploaded, or I basically took a screenshot of this, imported it into ChatGPT, and asked it to extract the Latin long and marks from this image into a CSV file, of which it did. All right, so here they are here. And then what I did is I asked ChatGPT to convert these latitudes and longitudes, which are in degrees, minutes, and seconds, into what we call decimal degrees. All right, so it's just a decimal version of the normal degrees, minutes, and seconds. All right, because that's how you need to upload it to RaceCourse. It's very important. If you try and upload using degrees, minutes, and seconds, it won't work and it won't recognize it. It needs it in decimal degrees. So this is an easy way to do it. So I took a photo of this, uploaded it. It converted these into decimal degrees, and then saved it as a CSV file. Here they are here. All right. Now, then what I did was I took a photo of the courses. Here are the courses here. So course number 1, CB3 to port, starboard, CB2 to port, CB5 to port, and so on. Took a screenshot of that, uploaded it in ChatGPT, and then I said, can you take this image, which details the various courses, and creates a CSV for each one that it allocates the marks listed and then their Latin long and rounding. Okay, so just asked it to do it, and what did it do? It did it for me. All right, so it actually then started to allocate those lats and longs and mark numbers to each different course. All right, and so if we scroll down a little bit more, because the format that our spreadsheet uses is, let me just keep going a little bit further, is the label, and I'll show you the spreadsheet in a second, and the notes, the latitude and the longitude, and then it did it. Okay, so we've got label and then notes, latitude, longitude, so CB3 to starboard, comma, the decimal degrees lat, decimal degrees long, and so forth. Right, so it basically did it for me. So you can see it's done all for those courses, right? So really easy to do and quick. So, basically upload these once, create a CSV file, import them into RaceCourse, you're ready to go. All right, so let me show you what we then did. All right, so I'm going to bring up the spreadsheet. All right, so here we've got the form, the spreadsheet that you need to complete to upload into RaceCourse. Now, this is also saved as a template on our support documentation, and I'll include a link in the description of the video. But you can see here the way that I've done it is I've got label, which is the mark name, so CB2-port, and the latitude and longitude. And you can also include notes here if you want as well. That could be anything, like be aware of this, or call in, radio in for a check, radio check, or a position report. You can put those types of things there as well, right? So what I'm going to do now is I've done this course, which is MP2. I'm going to do MP3. So I'm going to jump back into ChatGPT, find MP3, and then let's run on with a little bit more. Okay, let's do MP7. All right, and then I'm going to copy these here. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paste it. All right, and then I'm going to clear this because I'm overwriting this. What's going on there? Okay. What's going on? All right. So what I do is I come in here, paste them in here, and then I use a text to columns to convert it into columns, to characters, next, comma, take the tab out, next, finish. Okay. So there you go. Bang. It's done it. All right, so we've got CV3 to starboard, latitude, longitude, CV2 to port, CV6 to port, CV5 to port. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll save that, save as, and that is course NP7. All right, so just save that. All right, so we've saved that, then we can close that, and now we're good to go. So we've got our marks in a CSV file. We'll jump into SailPro, click the edit button down here, and then click the upload button. So the first thing I've got to do is get that onto my Android device. So I'm just going to drag and drop that here. I'm just using a direct plugin to my Android device so you can see it online. You could WhatsApp it to yourself, you could email it to yourself, or any other way you get files onto your device. All right, so here it is here, MP7, upload it. There's the marks, okay, in order. If you want to, you can actually modify these by the position of them by just dragging and dropping them. You can edit them, obviously, and you can also add extra marks as well. All right. So if you know, say for example, in this racing, they actually use a race boat, a committee boat, and a pin to set the start line and the finish line. So if you know what those are, you could add those in at this point into this course. You could add other markers and so forth. So anyway. I've basically got them all in there. So all I need to do now is then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save that as RGYC course 7. All right. And then I'm going to save that. All right. So I've saved that course, and then I'm going to click the save here. And now you can see there's all my marks that have been chucked in. All right. So I've got my marks in. I've got my marks. I can basically, I'll just scroll out a bit, and then I can basically click the play button. You'll see it'll map out the course, and then you can see I've got my boat, which are miles away, and I've got my direction to the mark. I've got my downwind ley line and my upwind ley line. All right, so everything's mapped. I can click go. It'll start telling me whether I'm high or low, how far I've got to go, the time to get there, what time I'll arrive there, my boat speed, course over ground, and the next mark. Okay, and as mentioned, if you need to jump to the next mark, just click that next button, and you'll see it will jump to the next mark, which is CBT port. Okay, yeah. Now that we've saved that route or that course, then that is saved in our device, ready for the next race. So if we come back out next week and the race committee puts up, flag number 7 for the race course, I can come in here, click race course number 7, click save, and my marks are populated, right? So it makes it really simple and easy for you to be able to map out your course. Okay, just before I finish that video, I think it might be worthwhile just sort of talking about how you can use RaceCourse in conjunction with Start Sync or the audible countdown timer that's provided with inside SailPro. So let's say you've got RaceCourse running, you've set up your course, okay, so it's ready to go, and then you've clicked the start button here, and then you want to prepare for the start, right? You've got a 5-minute start. Well, what you could do is then jump into Tactician, which includes the audible race timer here, or countdown timer. Just scroll that up to 5 and then click start.
Race started.
All right, and so now again, through your speaker or your Bluetooth headsets or however you're doing it, or you could be looking at it, you're getting your audible countdown time. All right, and so this is going to tell you how long you've got to go. And then once you've started the race, this will stop, and then you'll be able to jump back into RaceCourse and hear your course, right? So that's kind of how you can use it. If you want to be even more sophisticated, you can use our Start Sync tool, which is subject for another video. But basically here you can actually ping the line, so to speak, so you can ping the pin end of the line, the boat end of the line, the right side of the course, and click start here, and it will actually tell you how early or late you are going to be for the start. So combining that with RaceCourse is an excellent way for you to know, okay, before the start, I'm going to be on time, I'm going to be late, what have you. But then once the start's happened, I've got RaceCourse running, telling me whether I'm high or low, getting all that information, and again, audibly is really a big advantage. We are working on actually integrating all of those three features. So the audible countdown timer, the start sync, the time to distance calculator for the start, and RaceCourse into one screen. So which will probably be in a portrait mode because of the amount of information in there. So you'll just be able to have, say, a smaller tablet, even a big mobile phone should be okay, but it will show you all of this information in one. So you select the start time, you put the course, select your course, you ping the line, you click start, and all that information is coming out of one screen and just telling you the information here. So we're really excited by that. That will be, I think, a real big game changer for SailPro to combine all of these features into one. So look, that's pretty much it. So if we jump, we can stop that. We can end that course. We could download that as a GPX file if we wanted to. So just a note, when we're moving, it will save the track. All right. So I think in RaceCourse, it's every second we save a latitude and longitude, and you're able to save that track as a GPX file. All right. So you could upload it into Google Maps or what have you. But the reality is with SailPro, you don't really need to, because you can do that with RaceCourse, you can do that with RaceHub. So you can create a race in RaceHub and track your progress and then review it later. So there's numbers of different ways to do that inside RaceCourse. As I said, some of the updates that we're working on right now is the VMC, or Velocity Made Good to Course, because obviously SailPro doesn't know the wind direction, but it knows where the marks are, and also analytics. So once you've basically saved the race, you'll be able to click a button up here somewhere, and then it will display all of the race analytics. You know what your top speed was, average, how many tacks you did, all this type of really important data that you can use to make, improve and get a better performance over time. All right, so yeah, I hope that was informative. Obviously a little bit longer video, but there's a bit of detail in there. Once you get used to it, obviously it's a bit easier. As mentioned, the template for this will be in the support documentation. You can access the how-to at any time by just clicking this little question mark here. And then this is the full how-to on using RaceCourse, and the template is included there as a download. If you've created the CSV files, then why not share them with everybody else at the club and show them how they can use SailPro to help get around the course easier. You could even publish these in your sailing instructions to allow people to upload them themselves into SailPro. So yeah, all right. With that, got any questions? Please do let us know. Please like us and subscribe, and please jump on the Google Play and Apple App Stores and give us a review for SailPro. That'd be much appreciated. Okay, see you in the next one.